Welcome to the Unheard Scene with Freddy DeMarco, Anthony Petrone, and Matt Petrone.
Alrighty, welcome to the Unheard Scene. It feels good to be back.
Yeah, we're back. We're
happy
back.
and sad,
Yeah.
all rolled into one. Tony left us. He is contractually obligated to another show. He's Kylie and Booms on 92.3. We wish him the best of luck.
Good for him, Tony. Good
Matt's
job.
still here, but we have a new face joining the crew, Freddy DeMarco.
He's a good man. You guys might remember him from the old On Tour show where we had him come in and play live electric guitar for the first time in the studio, which everybody told us we couldn't do. And this man made it possible.
And made it happen.
He's also the man.
He's a very, very accomplished musician. And also he has a recording studio, which is neat for anybody who might need a CD to be made.
Yes. I can't speak for his prices right now, but you can contact him and work that out.
Well, I like this show. Plug in the first 1 minute of it. I'm all about this.
Hey, I gotta give props where props are due, man. You know that.
Right. And that's where we do what's where we're going to be doing some of the shows from. We'll be doing some from right here.
We'll be doing some live. We might have some special guest hosts here and there.
When you say live, you mean we're going to be actually going on location?
Location.
Yeah, right on.
Yes.
Right.
We'll be going to see some of these bands do it live.
We'll come out and we'll actually interview Freddy DeMarco's band when he plays out someplace.
Now I just got to get them to show up.
Well, that's on you, man. That's
Yeah.
All right, Freddie, for the listeners, why don't you tell them a little bit about who you are, some of the bands you're in, some of the things you've done, just so they get a little feel for, they know Matt and I, just so they get a little feel for you.
Yeah, great. Well, I started with the Vivid Company, and when my porn career ended...
That's what I was just thinking. Vivid Magazine.
No, actually... No, I've always been in music since about 10 years old. I taught music, went to school for music, played in a lot of different style bands, and I play in a jazz band. It's called 7 O'Clock Chicken. I play in a classic rock band with Dave Waller called Zen Archer, and I play in an AC/DC tribute band called Thunderstruck. I travel the world pretty much for Black Star and Vox amplifiers. It used to be Marshall. I play a lot of shred guitar and chicken picking to show that these amps do different things, and I've always just really been in the studio style playing where I do different styles, and that's helped me do what I do. But yeah, that's pretty much what I do. I just play different types of music.
Let me ask you here something, Freddie. You keep talking here, and I like the way you're talking. I'm gonna say here, I am not a musician, and you know that, Freddie. But I'm gonna tell all the listeners I am not a musician, and this is part of the reason why we're bringing Freddie on. He knows a lot of the technical terms and things that me, Anthony, and I don't. So if I stop you here and there and hey, explain that for me.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay, this is for me, and I'm hoping I'm not the only idiot listening. But hey, if I am, hey, cool. But chicken picking.
Yeah, that's basically, I was describing the different styles I play, because I was just saying how these different bands are all different styles. Well, my big day gig working for these companies where I demo amps, you have to demo different styles of music so customers know these amps can do different things at clinics. So when I say chicken picking, I'm talking about...
Free-for-all.
Yeah, well, no, it's actually a country style of picking where you use, for you guitar players out there, a hybrid technique where you mix your fingers in the pick and you get that twangy chicken picking type tone.
Cool.
And just kind of referencing some of the different styles I do. A lot of rock playing, a lot of blues, and I'm hoping to be able to identify with a lot of the different artists that we have on the show. Having a recording studio, I've produced some different alternative modern music as well. And
which brings to the point which we'll get to in a little bit. We have Red Sun Rising, who is recording at Freddy DeMarco's studio here. We'll get back to that, but let's talk a little bit more about Freddy. The Dave Waller band, is that his original music, or is that a bluesy, or...
Actually, it's funny you say that because we work on a couple of his originals, and I have a duo with him. the duo is 2 acoustics, and then the second set we play the tracks and all that. So it's more of a fun thing. It's all cover music. Then the rock band is, depending on the gig, we'll cater it to a lot of blues, but then we do a lot of 70s rock to some modern stuff, but it really borders on more of a 70s. Dave's a big 70s guy, and you know, Zen Archer is a reference to a Todd Rundgren album. How, you know, there's people that think we're a Todd, Todd Rundgren song. I think we don't even do any Todd Rundgren, but it's a name you always want to name the band. So these bands will do anything from like Zeppelin, Van Halen to Stevie Ray Vaughan, Eric Clapton,
Sweet,
ZZ Top, Cheap Trick, anything in that vein. And that's just one of the bands. And Dave, of course, has other bands where he does other things. But
sweet.
I like the old stuff.
I have to get Dave in here too one time. He is a good friend. I've known Dave for a little while now. Been trying to get him in and to keep running into different scheduling.
He got me the wrong drink the other night. It really, never mind. But no, it's good to be back. It's been a long time gone, and we elected to go back with the Unheard scene because I had so many comments from a bunch of people that, you know, on tour, everybody goes on tour. That's
sounded
good.
Too vague to me.
So we just decided to go back to the Unheard scene. This is where it started for us at 9 o'clock on Saturday mornings. Yeah. This is where it started for us. But we
had some really, really good times.
We're back,
studios,
you know.
So anybody come back and listen, thank you.
Oh yeah, if you come back and listen, it's a miracle because you found us.
Thank you. So in the meantime, we do have Red Sun Rising here. We have a few songs that we're going to play throughout the show. We have one lined up, I believe.
Yeah, why don't we kick it off with, let's just, you know, hear what these boys are about, and then we'll talk with them a little bit.
All right, sounds good to me.
Cool.
Stay tuned.
This is one off, not their most current one, but one that they asked me to play. This is the first song off an album called Red Sun Rising. This is called Numbers. We're on, man. This is the first show, the first thing
sweet.
I've recorded in this version of the show.
First show, first guest.
That was a brilliant
And
intro.
already they're talking about the stuff they borrow from me.
Right.
No, honestly, the funny thing about that
We
was
didn't
this
use it.
thing, I have a lot of stuff on here, and it's a hard drive-based recorder. I couldn't get it to work. It says drive something locked up or something.
Oh, really?
He goes, let me borrow it. I'm like, it's broke.
We couldn't get it to work.
But eventually,
No. We recorded a few things.
At one
with that
time
thing.
you couldn't, though, then I couldn't. And I have a lot of stuff on there. I loaned it to you anyways. It came back and it was working. So.
Well, the tricky part was.
I should loan you my car.
No, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's funny, you tricky bastard. Listen, the tricky part was that it worked, but the weird thing was the only way it worked is if you triggered each sound based on its pre-recorded sound. So it's like the only way it worked if we used its own preamp.
Are you talking like this to try to sound intelligent because it's not working?
No, I'm
The
true.
animosity in the band.
I'm sorry.
The secrets behind it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sorry. Did you run the board? No. Listen. No, seriously. No, you had to use all of its presets, or we couldn't get any sounds out of it. That's what we did. That's what I did, and I bet they're still in there.
Yeah, I didn't erase anything. It's that.
See, we still got old. I don't even know what the
In
songs
fact,
were.
the memory's probably used up. We probably only have 5 more minutes to say something cool on this show. So.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Something cool. Anyway.
It's done. Show's over.
That's it. Got it.
All right, so we are actually in studio here with 2 members of Red Sun Rising. You guys want to introduce yourselves real quick and tell them what you do in the band?
I'm Mike Prodich. I'm the lead vocalist in the band.
I'm Ryan Williams. I'm the guitarist, and Mike and I are also kind of the managers and lead songwriters of the band.
Cool. And what are you guys doing in the studio now? Are you making a new album? Are you touching stuff up?
Right now, actually, it's kind of interesting because we're planning on making some new material. We're writing it right now, but this we promised our fans that if we get to 10,000 likes on Facebook, we'll release some B-sides from the last album, and this we're finishing up one of the B-sides from the last album. So
very cool.
we are really close to 10,000. So
It's like
B-sides meaning that this didn't make it on the album.
It doesn't mean that this was never like a decision like this song was worse than the others. In fact, we were very fond of this song, and so were quite a few fans.
Yeah, the other songs too.
Yeah, and actually, there's like 3 more. We just didn't have time.
Right.
So now that we're here, not only are we going to do these other 3 that didn't quite make the last record, but we're going to also we've written, another 2 albums worth of material, but we're probably going to record another 3 with Freddy. So.
right. Like, sometimes you just, and not only time, sometimes you just don't have room. Sometimes an album can only be so long.
Absolutely.
Well, we took a big risk too by booking a huge venue in Akron, the Civic.
Yep.
And we couldn't move the date, and we kind of preemptively booked it, and we realized we kind of ran out of time. But it's like we wanted to go through with that because we really made a impression on the city by doing well at the Civic, like as an independent band,
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
we couldn't we couldn't take any more time, obviously, for this. But the cool thing is now is we're gonna release these songs, but I don't think we're making the next album.
Right.
I don't know that albums even exist anymore. It's weird. It's like look at look at like Dark Side of the Moon. Like I want to make one so bad. I want a beginning to end
Like a
subject
concept
matter
album?
Right.
concept. Like I would love to do that, but people don't seem to be paying attention to those anymore. So
I've started to go back to albums. I really
Yeah.
have.
I've always been.
I think
Ever
rock
since
fans
LimeWire
are-
went down, I've been going
Yeah.
back to albums.
Right. I've
Yeah.
always been a fan of if you love the band, buy the whole record. That's my whole thing.
I think a lot of rock fans do that though. I think it's more pop fans that'll listen to singles.
Mm-hmm.
I still think people that listen to rock will listen to the whole record.
Either way, though, I think we're not making a record right now. We're gonna record 5 songs the best we possibly can. We're
That's
gonna
cool.
put them out, right?
Yeah.
I don't think another album's coming out yet.
That's
So you're gonna just put them on on MySpace and let
Yeah,
people
just
just
let
listen
them
for
go.
free or YouTube or whatever?
Yeah, basically.
And the funny thing is about the cool thing is too is not that these tracks didn't make the last record. I think they were up in the air, and we just weren't sure what we were going to go with. But now that they're new and they're fresh again, it's almost like we feel like why didn't we?
We have a
release
whole
these
nother
last
year
time?
on them now.
Yeah. It's
Right.
they're new again, so we're excited about them.
Right, and the way I see it, it gives your fans a little something more to be excited about.
Yeah, and they've been really receptive to us releasing this. So.
And they are very close. If you guys would like to friend them on Facebook, you can find them. Just type in the search engine, type in Red Sun Rising, and
We
click
will
like.
appear.
They're very close if you want to hear the songs.
Well, we have an interesting thing going on. This was originally, the drums were tracked in a studio down in Nashville, and then they bring the stuff back to my studio. Here is where we're at. So we're technically at my place, and I'm Freddy DeMarco. And
what does your studio have a name? I mean, we just
no, we actually don't have a name. We had names, and the names are so terrible. We just
DeMarco's Hit Factory.
Yeah, it's like my studio. Yeah, it's like, no, I've always tried to have like a bit of a music camp going on. You know, I play in a billion bands and give lessons, and you know, travel a lot for music companies doing clinics and seminars and stuff. So I like to have a camp in my own place. So basically the whole house, as you notice, is converted into a studio. The storm windows blocked in, so we got drum room down there. The whole upstairs has a tracking room, and we're in the control room. So these tracks were brought back here, and I believe this particular track features another friend of ours from the camp, Mark Matthews on bass. So they have we might replace that with the new bass player. And when I say new, he's been in the band over a year, but
about a year
we don't know what we're doing yet.
I mean, I'm a Def Leppard fan, but they got their new guy, Vivian Campbell. He's been in the band for almost 20 years. They still call him
the new guy.
Yeah, so there you go.
You know?
And Ryan lays his guitars down here after we bring the rhythm section back from the studio in Nashville. The reason to do that is because they wanted to record in a big room on the 2-inch tape, and there's a certain way a drum room's built, and that was done down there. So then the rest of the album's produced up here. Ryan does his guitars, and then Mike sings on it. And we're at a point in the song where we're trying to get a vibe going up here and kind of getting editing. So as much as I'm doing the running the console and the Pro Tools session, the software, we're still kind of treating it kind of like a performance. So what we have is a section in the song where we wanted a dropout. This song did not have a dropout, so they're producing this.
What's a dropout?
A dropout is something in the song. I'll actually play it for you. So we're right here in the music, and this music kept going, and we literally cut this. And we keep affected guitar going through the dropout. A dropout is where we'll literally just drop edit, and then the song's going, but it's all blank audio, and then we have it come back in. So it'll have this kind of effect, and we're searching for a good segue at this point. So check this out.
Electric field sounds us together. Okay, I get what you mean. I get it.
So you literally cut the audio, a hard edit. It's like we're not trying to fool anybody. You know, you could actually tell it's not the band stopping. You don't hear the reverberation of the instruments except for that guitar. It's a real surreal cut. And where we're at right now, and you guys showed up to start the show, is we're actually looking for a sound to maybe do a reverse effect or something to get into this, and then to get back out where he says electric field. So I have a keyboard hooked up, and I'm going to be searching for sounds, so these guys give me a thumbs up, and we're going to try to get something that vibes with the song.
That sounds cool.
To have a cool outro from this section right here. We might put a sound there, we don't know yet, but then where it comes back in, right here, electric, we might want some kind of reverse thing happening. So we're going to search the Korg synthesizer here. Notice that Korg plug. And
that's $20 right in the pocket.
Yes, right there. So I have a bunch of categories, and we just talked about doing this. Ryan and I have talked on the phone quite a bit about taking because they're a real power rock band, and we wanted to do a little bit extra production in the studio. Some of the labels that are doing a bidding war over these guys are talking about give us a little bit more in terms of production. What are you guys hearing in production? So we're up here experimenting with this song. Kind of what this session's about.
Cool.
Basically listening to it, at this point we're listening to it as what a listener would listen, like how they would listen. As we're going through the song, like thinking about more of sounds and not actual, like the song itself. Like what do we want to hear there? Like different...
It makes it easy when you can't remember how to play it either, because it's been a year. So yeah, we are the listeners at this point.
Right.
But no, seriously, we're focusing on just trying to find out what it was about the song we loved in the first place, and why are we going to bring it back. And I think I'm excited about it. So
yeah, it should be cool.
So you're basically just remastering the song.
Remastering, yeah, because we haven't heard it in a while. So here it is.
And doing some edits to it, so we're changing a few things, and he may even plug in a guitar and replay or add a guitar part. We're deciding that now.
Vocals,
Yeah, it did. So right now we're just trying to put this part together so you guys get to listen in on us trying to choose a sound. And
See, yeah, something. I mean,
see, we can start with something like that, but then we'll customize that once it's down on the track.
Reverse it and make it
yeah, that
lo-fi.
could be, yeah, right, exactly. I was gonna say reverse it.
See, to my ears, that's a little too synthesized.
Yeah,
and too gamey.
What was the other one that you did though that was higher?
Cosmic Waves.
There it is. Or that. Just the opposite of that.
There you go. Nice
Oh, there we go.
babbling
Dolphins
throat.
playing. Yes. Dolphins making love is our breakdown.
Well, you got to keep in mind we're going to have it's not much time, so it's more as just
Reverse that.
Try reversing that.
okay. I'll put it in first. Now, do we want that? Question is, do we want that going out of the break or into the next?
I say into the next, so run it hot going into the next part, but run it long. So you know what I mean? Like build it.
Right.
Oh, it was. Yeah, put a straw in your mouth.
So use the pitch wheel there and disguise the initial sample. Let's see what we get. Roll it.
Electric fields holds us together.
Now we can mess with it now that it's tracked.
Yeah.
It's that easy to just throw that in there.
Let me do that. Yeah, it is.
But now
And
we
you
gotta
know
make
what?
it sound like
It's gotta make it
Yeah,
sound
yeah,
right,
sound's
yeah.
gotta be right.
Yeah, we're going to do it one more time because I want a stereo effect. And I'm going to cover both sides of the keyboard so we can get a stereo sweep. We won't be able to tell that obviously on this program, but
Yeah.
in the room we
Electric fields holds us together.
It's too bad you couldn't see Freddy on the
Freddy
keyboard.
just do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Freddy's
Rocking
just
out.
back and forth on everything.
Yeah.
The one thing that I've seen Freddie play guitar, and I've seen, watching him do this. He always just knows what he's doing, and it's just he makes it look easy, but then it's not.
It's not.
He's always performing too, even when he's laying down tracks. He's performing. He's got a great guitar face.
Yeah, they beat me up on the internet enough on that.
Electric fields.
Okay, so I just moved it. I'm moving the track to where I really want it, and now I'm going to highlight that track. And these programs are incredible. We have something called Audio Suite where I'm going to actually go to this thing that says reverse, and I could actually reverse that.
Yeah,
track.
reverse and fade those. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so here's the reverse.
Electric fields.
So I started a little
Yeah,
early.
fade it and drop it, and it's money.
Fade it in, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and just cut it right where the vocal hits.
Electric fields.
So we have this.
Electric fields holds us.
Yeah. We just gotta bring the level down a little bit, and we're there.
Oh, the overall level.
Yeah.
Of the
No,
track.
the level of the.
Yeah, because it took away from the.
Yeah, bring it down. Make
Yes,
it lower.
so the accents, the band,
right,
come in.
right. Make it lower in the mix.
See, this
More
is
money.
like the Bob Ross of audio.
Happy
Now I'm
eye.
showing my age.
Yeah.
Bob Ross, that's the painter, right?
Right.
Like Happy Trees?
Right.
Yeah.
Happy trees.
We had this. No, he makes it look so easy, right?
Yeah,
You take out your own pen and paper.
Yeah, I
and
consider
paint
myself the Rick Ross of audio, which is the cocaine dealer. So that's.
Electric fields holds us together.
You might be able to come in even a little
Yeah,
more.
a
Just so
little
that,
more
that first hit is impactful.
And maybe a longer fade.
Or even, well, you know what? It
could.
could even work too. Is pull back, just cut the audio there so it almost stops for 16th note too.
So it stops right before
Yeah, it stops
he
the
comes
16th
in?
note. Yeah, and the audio down
I'd
the
have to hear
hair.
that.
Right there. Yeah, that might be longer than 6. That's like 2/16, but yeah.
Take the audio down a hair too, right? Okay, here we go. Then, by the way, what you're hearing there is a guitar part that Ryan played with a real crazy effect by an Eventide effect, a high-end effect, giving us. That's actually generated from the guitar part.
Really?
Yeah, it's a guitar.
Yeah, there's no like synth keyboard player in the
I
band.
thought that was a
That's-
keyboard.
No, it's a guitar hitting a foot pedal.
Electric fields.
Can you pull it out one? Pull it out. So another 16th. So you cut it 2/16. Pull it out 1/16.
Pull close this way.
Yeah, cut it out that way. Just make it half as long. Okay, so pull back half of that. Right. That was a little farther. Other way. Yeah, there. Sorry.
Picky
Try
bastard.
that. Try that.
Electric fields.
So close. Farther right.
Yeah.
So a little farther right. Yeah.
Probably
it's
where-
almost right there.
Electric fields.
Yes.
I
That's
say I figured out what he was saying too. That was the sad thing. I caught on to that.
That's what I meant.
Yeah,
You guys like that?
yeah, that sounds good. So the sound
Right,
isn't
it's like,
overlapping the sing. It's just
Right.
stop. There it is.
Right. Like no
Right.
time. Just
Right.
here's the song.
So we back up a little bit so we hear what's actually happening to the tune.
Yeah. Here it as a whole now.
Beyond what my body has helped me do. Electric fields holds us together. While electric fields keeps me further away. I wanna touch you, and feel you, beyond what my body has helped me to, and take me further. Beyond what my body has helped me to.
Somehow we muted those.
What? Do you know what it is?
Those are background vocals,
Oh, it is.
and we weren't using them in there for some
I didn't
reason.
even know we
had them
background
coming
vocals
in
on
right here.
Help me to, and baby, take me higher.
Oh, it's a double.
Beyond what my body has helped me to.
Okay.
I wanna feel you. I wanna feel you. I wanna feel you.
I want to send that to somebody's voice.
Help me to. I wanna feel you. I wanna feel you. I wanna feel you.
It's all guitar.
Yeah.
We just hit a note. We took the delay and took the feedback up.
Feedback and correct.
So it just
Played with
it's
like
like
back and
super-
forth. So it was like
super hard to delay.
So yeah, it's cool.
That's one of my biggest. That's one of the reasons why we do this show, is I can't play an instrument, so I figured this is my way to give back. You know,
Yeah.
You know, I can help. Maybe I can help you guys get bigger. Maybe I don't know. You know,
Yeah.
maybe we could help find somebody.
Yeah.
So that's why I do this. This is why. Part of the reason why we brought Freddy in, because he
And
can relate to what you guys are saying a little better.
Oh, no way. I do it for the money, man.
And this is
Well,
kind
that's
of
good too.
Just kidding. I'm kidding.
That's good too.
You know, this whole with Freddy showing the background stuff. Some of your fans are probably wondering, you
Yeah.
know, what is it like sitting in the studio with them? What do they do? Is it, you know,
Yeah, we would love to. I mean, we have a very active fan base online. They would love this.
Yeah, is it pure debauchery or is it?
Yeah.
Is it three of us sitting around going, "What if it were this much closer?"
Yeah.
Do it again.
It's all
This is
us
what we
sitting
do.
around drinking beer and sitting in the studio.
Evidently, one of you says Nito quite a bit. I've noticed. All your
Nito
fan-
gang.
All your
Nito.
fans and everything with Nito.
That's funny that you saw that.
I did. I looked quite a bit.
He's my research guy. I just kind of sit along and then I could pick up the here and there, and I'll throw in like you were talking about the Civic show that you guys did. How long ago was that?
That was last December.
That was a CD release, or was that?
Yeah, that was the release
second
for the second album, Making of Kings, which this was supposed to be on.
Okay.
So this is just a B-side.
And so you had a really big turnout. Was it?
Yeah, it was,
It was over 1,000 people.
over 1,000.
Wow,
That's a good CD
Good show.
release.
I heard 1,250.
Yeah.
I don't know for sure, but yeah, no, it was great, and that was the thing that solidified. I mean, we really took a gamble to do that. You know, it costs a lot of money to rent that venue out, so that was something that solidified us as kind of like one of the bigger fish in the pond.
And it's hard in Akron, so it was good to see that.
Right, really good to see that. So we have these tracks available now that we're excited about, but now we have 100% Freddy, where before we had like 40%, 30% Freddy. Now we got 100% Freddy, so we're even more excited.
Would you consider that the biggest show you guys have ever played?
Oh no.
No, I mean, it was the biggest show we ever had.
Yeah,
Okay.
as far as like being something like in our career that we would, you know,
It's a milestone.
like a milestone.
Yeah.
Yes, I'd say. But as far as like biggest crowd, no.
No, we've played full Nautica. We played capacitated House of Blues on several occasions.
Tower City,
Rockin' on the River, capacity.
Yeah, where were some of the nationals you guys opened for in those events?
Chevelle, Shinedown,
Yeah.
Seven Dust.
Yeah, Collective Soul,
Collective Soul.
Candlebox. Mr. Big might have been one of the coolest. Believe it or not.
No one should
Yeah.
ever be able to do that with a bass.
Yeah, exactly. Billy Sheehan made me go home and like just stare at my instrument and say, have I even seen you before? Is this it? Is this how it works?
Yeah, that was one of the best live bands I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I haven't seen them live, but we were at a Warrant show, and you know, in between bands they switch. They just throw on a CD a lot of times, and they just let the one CD play. And the guy looked at me and my brother, and he was like, "Well, what are you two young punks doing here at this show? You guys aren't old enough to know Warrant. Come on." I says, "Well, what album do you want to start naming?" So we just started rattling songs off. He says, "Okay, Hotshot, who's this playing?" I said, "Honestly, I have no idea. I've never heard the song before in my life, but it sounds a lot like Mr. Big." 2 songs later, "I'm the one who wants to." He says, "This is Motley Crue. This is Motley Crue." I said, I own every Motley Crue album. This ain't on it.
Yeah.
So
You know what's funny is I think most people are familiar with that song, but they don't realize that Paul Gilbert and Billy Sheehan are in that
Monsters.
band. And I'll tell you what, not only were they great guys, nice guys to meet, they weren't as good as Freddie DeMarco, but
There will be no discounts. No.
But no, in all seriousness, I haven't heard anybody ever play quite like Freddie. But Gilbert and Sheehan were so
Freddie's
great, but not only great as people, but just to watch them play was humbling. Like, I mean, beyond humbling. I mean, but even people that didn't play instruments were there. Like, is that how that works?
Even
like,
what's the singer's name of Mr. Big?
Eric Roberts.
Martin.
Even
What is it?
Martin.
Eric Martin.
even he was ridiculous.
He was great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Great
the
songwriter.
drummer. Who's the drummer? He was great too.
No, he had
Torme.
a young guy
Something
though.
Torme.
Yeah,
playing
he's
with
great.
them.
Oh, maybe it's a different.
Great.
I have a funny story. Billy Sheehan, my brother works for Roland, and Sheehan wanted some. I believe it was Taurus pedals. Anyways, my brother lives in Los Angeles where he lives, and part of the gig is you go to some of these guys' houses and show them how to work the gear and all that. And he told me how cool Billy Sheehan was. Well, the big trade show's the NAMM show in January, and I would typically go do it for my company and stay a week with my brother and do some recording. So Sheehan offered him a rack. He was downsizing his home studio and offered to give my brother a rack. And this is just a testimony how cool this guy is for being like one of the greatest bass players in the world. We got to go over the house. He was basically just hanging out, backing up Beatles tunes on his MP3 player and all that. And he had a small little humble studio and this huge giant rack, and I could see why he wanted it out of his place. And at the time, my brother had a bit of a back problem, couldn't lift the rack, so he actually lifted it with me in my brother's trunk. And here we didn't have like a way to close the trunk. He went and got bungee cables, let us have them. I'm out in the street like with him, said, "Now at least let me give you $100, Mag. At least give you $100 for this rack." And Billy's like, "No, you may not." He goes, "Just enjoy it." I'm like, "Well, you really inspired us. We're gonna go home and write a song," and that we did, you know, and just because
cool.
it's like kind of a vibed out thing.
That's cool.
Because he goes way back to a band called Talus. He used to play down our way here in Canton, Ohio. I forget the name of the club, but you used to be able to catch him Because way back,
Shady
if I know,
Days, was it?
no, this is another. This was probably before that. I mean, this goes way back. I mean, kind of before my time. I didn't see them, but people used to, guys older than me. Got to see him.
Showing the age here. Come on.
Yeah, I know. But no, he
was picked in that band draft that we did with
Somebody picked him. I don't remember who, but somebody picked him.
we did a fantasy draft show. We have a friend that does a fantasy draft show, and we did a band draft, and you had to pick what was it, 6? You had a lead singer, a lead guitarist, a bassist, a drummer, and 2 wild cards to be in your band. And the catch is they could have never played together before. And you're making your own supergroup.
Wild card.
That's kind of cool.
I could do that in a heartbeat. I could tell you mine.
Wild card could be anything. And we had Jeff Neal, the drummer from Boston, on the show. And I even tried sucking up and picking Tom Scholes, and I still lost.
Let's put a supergroup together. Who's yours?
Wait, is it live or recorded? That's the question.
Let's say live. Rock and roll's all about live.
All right, live.
I don't think I know enough names.
So okay, we got a singer, one guitarist, one bassist, one drummer.
You can the wild cards can be anything. You can pick a second guitar.
It's got to be
you
the
can pick
four,
a keyboard
the
player.
4 that you need: the singer, the guitarist, the bassist, and the drummer. And then the 2 wild cards could be anything. The one girl picked a violinist, which at the time I thought was crazy. And recently I heard a rock song with violin in it that sounded phenomenal.
Some of the Foo Fighters.
So wait again, because I'm slower than the average bear. For the listening audience, explain this from the get-go.
Okay.
So what is this actually?
What we did, we had a friend. He's Ricky Morris. He had a fantasy. He's a draft show. He has a fantasydrafthelp.com, and he will draft anything.
He got sick of drafting sports, so he got creative.
We did the one year we did a MILF draft. They had to be over 40. We had to, so Anthony and I came to him with this idea of picking a super group, okay? And if somebody else picked it, it was off the board. It was ran just like your normal football draft, like you see. Okay, Colt McCoy was taken off the list. Now Freddy can't take him. Or Tom Scholes, Anthony picked Tom Scholes. Now I can't take Tom Scholes. Okay, so, but the band members you pick could not have played together before.
Oh, okay. So I pick a drummer and he picks a drummer, then he picks a drummer. That's how we do this, right?
You can pick in any order you want.
Pick in any order you want.
Like the first pick. I don't remember the guy's name. He picked Les Claypool as a bassist.
Okay.
And then I had second pick. Well, I said, there's not too many bassists out there that are that big a name, so I picked Michael Anthony. And then the next person picked the drummer, then the next person picked the lead singer, then the next picked their...
Now, do they have to be alive today? Like something we can actually throw together if we make them an offer?
That was the rule for that one.
All right.
That was the rule for that one.
So we're making our own chicken foot band, essentially.
Basically.
Okay.
Which the one guy got away with. Their album wasn't done yet, so he got away with putting Sammy Hagar and Chris Satriani together. And I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
But,
so they do got to be alive.
yes.
Let's go with that.
All right, I'll start with my drummer. I think Josh Freese.
Okay.
I would probably use Josh Freese too.
Who's Josh Freese from?
I don't know enough
Everything
names.
ever.
No.
A Perfect Circle though would be maybe one of the most.
And the Vandals.
Yeah, the most, or the Vandals, or
Play with
another
Devo
one.
for a
But
while.
I mean, Britney Spears, everything.
Okay.
He goes.
So then the cool thing about this, I don't have to pick my favorite player. I might pick now my favorite player that would go well with, or contrast his pick. It doesn't necessarily have who I think the best.
Band together with all of
One
us?
band together.
Let's try that.
All right.
And who's next?
Go ahead, Freddie.
Okay, well, I'll pick one of the guitarists. I'd like to see a real contrast. I'd go with John Frusciante on the guitar.
Really?
From-
On one of the
I didn't
guitarists.
see that coming.
One
I
of the
did not
guitarists.
see that.
Did not
coming.
see
I know, and I'm thinking
From-
of
I wouldn't even
something.
have picked him.
I'm thinking of something out there.
From where? Where's he from?
Well, I'm
Chili
thinking of him
Peppers,
from the
man.
Chili
Chili
Peppers,
Okay.
the original member.
All right.
We,
You want to go in?
I thought we were
Go ahead.
on drummers. What happened?
no, we're doing
we
one
need
band.
One
drummer.
band.
One band.
Oh,
for the
so you
whole
guys
group.
picked the rest of my band?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, there's probably gonna be more one guitar player.
That's
Well,
what
you know.
I didn't see that one coming.
Yeah, Freddy.
Yeah, so because that might offset who you were thinking as a singer.
You just threw the curveball in
That's
there.
right.
I was putting my own band together. I had my rhythm section lined up. I had a vocalist.
Be a team player.
Come on.
But no, we could start over actually if you
All right.
want.
Sorry, James Hetfield and John Paul Jones, you're not my band anymore.
Well, no, who's to say they're not?
Because they don't. Because John Frusciante and them will not mix well. Go ahead, Mike.
What am I picking?
Whatever you want to pick.
Whatever you want to pick.
Guess anything.
I'm trying to think of the bass player of.
So Frusciante and Josh Freese, who else is in the band?
Names are escaping me. The song Sledgehammer.
Peter Gabriel?
Peter Gabriel, the dude that plays with him. What's his name?
Bass player?
Yeah, he plays with the Hammers.
Tony Levin. You
Is
mean
that
the
it?
bass player?
Yeah, he plays with the Hammers.
Yeah, and he does the stick and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tony Levin,
Yeah,
bald
he's,
guy, right?
he's
Stick.
ridiculous.
Yeah, no, okay, so we're getting
All
out
right.
there.
Wow, that's
a
what
weird combination.
What
But you
what
put
a
all these
super
guys
group.
in the
He's got such great
studio,
groups.
Right,
you
see
know,
what
and
they
some of the
do.
guys that may be more of an accomplished musician technically than another guy can put his ego aside and write off some of the vibe guys, and maybe some of the vibe guys will
I
bring
actually
their
like this
bar up.
combination so far. So
Yeah.
John Frusciante, what's his name?
Yeah, Tony Levin.
Tony Levin and
Bass.
Josh Freese.
Well, you know,
That is
I
an
got-
all-star group.
Okay, let's
go ahead.
I gotta go back for a wild card, just a wild card, and use who I mentioned already, Tom Scholz. You know, the guy makes all his own albums. He does everything. He does all the effects, all the guitars,
Right.
all the drums. There's nothing this guy can't do. So he
And a
would,
great arranger of songs.
he would
as well.
complement any band,
Right.
anywhere at any time.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right.
That's a tough one now.
So what do we have instrument-wise?
We have
Well, we
a
could,
drummer,
yeah.
we have a guitarist,
And
we
I
have a
got the wild,
bassist,
and I got the wild
and
card.
we have a wild card.
So we don't have a singer.
So we need a lead singer.
Or
We need
keyboard,
another
or
wild
another
card.
guitarist.
I can think of plenty of people that aren't with us anymore, but
Let's keep them who's alive or
Yeah.
not.
Yeah,
Because we
keep
might
'em
make these
alive
guys
for
an
right now.
offer, you know.
Wouldn't that be something? We get the band started right now.
for this combination, if it were my singer, I would say Paul McCartney
Wow.
or Maynard James Keenan.
Ooh.
That's good. That's a good pick. I heard that Pussified show was horrible though.
Yeah, I heard that, but I heard that from people that were
I
on
don't like
Rivers
that
Morning
kind of
Glory.
thing. Yeah,
so.
I heard that.
Is that where you heard it? Right. So I heard it from a group of guys who could only name one Tool song, and that
Yeah.
was Sober, and that's the song that
the
Tool won't
most
play
commercial
anymore, so-
song.
Yeah. So, is there any censorship on your show? Is the FD? Okay.
No
Fuck those
censorship.
guys for a second. No, I would love to have been at that show, but I heard it was only bad from Rover's Morning Glory, and who cares?
Yeah,
So
that's true. Didn't you interview him,
Who?
Maynard James Keenan?
No, I interviewed the gentleman from Green Jello.
Oh, that was it.
And
Green
he
Jelly.
actually
Green Jelly.
Jelly, yeah.
Yeah, well, we stayed with Green Jello because that's
Okay.
what they started out as. And he actually got his start off in that band.
yeah, a
Yeah.
lot of those guys
Yeah.
did. Yeah.
Wasn't
Little
Adam
Pig,
Jones in
Little
there
Pig
too?
Let Me In.
Yeah, that was their hit. Three Little Pigs.
Food fight.
Yeah,
I'm taking
ac-
food
I'm
fight,
actually in
Patron,
that
and
band.
tequila drinker.
I'm actually in that band. If you look on their Wikipedia, I'm actually a written member as Food Fight Patron the Tequila Man.
Amazing.
And if you look on their Wikipedia, I'm like number 235 member of the band or something like that.
That's sweet.
All right, so who's our singer, man?
So I was
It's on
thinking.
you.
I was actually thinking, and I can't remember his name.
If you name a member of Van Halen, I'm leaving.
No, it's not a member of Van Halen. Believe it or not. Is it Chester Bingham? Is that his
From
name?
Linkin
Bettingham.
Park.
Linkin Park?
He is really good.
All right.
I like his voice. I like the way.
Yeah.
Okay. The way they throw the rapper in there.
Chester Bennington, isn't that his name?
Yeah, Benny.
Bennington.
That's it. And I like the way they throw the rapper in there, but to get his voice where he's gets that high and then he gets the low too, and it's hard to
Yeah,
do.
You know what sucks is my girlfriend made that list. You remember the list of 5 people you could sleep with from Friends?
Is he on it?
All right, so we made that list. You remember that?
Yeah.
All right, so
I don't remember.
okay,
that.
so on Friends they made a list of 5 people you could sleep with without getting in trouble with your significant other. So I made mine and she made hers. Number 1, Chester fucking Bennington. and then like The Rock.
The Rock.
Yeah, and like
Can you
Chris.
smell?
Yeah, and like Chris Brown. I don't want to go down my list, but I would if I could.
Yeah, I'd throw Chris Cornell's name in that hat though.
Yeah.
Oh, we forgot about Cornell.
He's one of my
That would have been a good
favorites.
combo.
That'd have been good.
Yeah, and the thing about Cornell is he's like hit so many different vibes on different albums from Soundgarden onto that.
Have you
He
heard
did that technical album?
Yeah,
he
you heard
did,
the
yeah.
blues like R&B one that he did with
Right.
Timbaland?
Yeah, so
That's
he's
amazing.
the diversity of his ability would be great with those
I do a lot
cats.
of vocal workouts to him, like the old
Yeah.
Soundgarden stuff. That's how
Yeah.
I built my range, doing that stuff.
Now see, if we were going for if they didn't have to be alive, I'd throw Freddy in there.
And that's why.
Freddie Mercury.
That's why I said when you
That's to
said
say,
not
you have to
alive,
be
that would
alive.
have been my first choice.
I think he's
That
everyone's
guy.
first choice
Yes.
all the time.
That guy's
Well-
just stupid good.
Well, okay.
He was.
There's a you listened to that show we talked about earlier. They had a guy on there from Cleveland. He says he's in a drumming contest, and he's one of 16 around the nation being handpicked by Roger Taylor to be in a Queen tribute band.
What?
They said they found a lead singer in Canada that if you close your eyes, it sounds like Freddy.
Really?
Now, I haven't heard him. I haven't looked it up on YouTube. That they said you could find him, and it sounds.
But
just
you
like-
open your eyes and he looks like Mr. T, right?
So there, evidently, Roger Taylor is putting together a Queen tribute band.
Really?
So
Wow.
You know what? I would be into that though. Freddie Mercury is one of those guys that like, if they could find somebody to duplicate his voice, I would love to hear
Yeah.
it again.
Yeah.
Not like a lot of the other bands where they did that. I wouldn't want to, it's like you want the original guy, but
What do you think
Yeah.
about Alice in Chains' new guy?
I saw Alice in Chains new.
Mhm.
I had never seen them originally, and I'm a Lane
I-
Staley fan. I'm an Alice in Chains. I mean, they inspired half the things we do. I got to see them live with their newest vocalist, and I'll tell you what, I not only do I respect them, but I loved everything they did. And if you close your eyes, Lane Staley was sitting right there. And I could see how it'd be hard for that guy to get over that hump, because that's what everyone's thinking. Everyone's thinking like, well, you're not Lane Staley.
yeah,
Right.
But you know what? He didn't care.
Yeah.
Sublime with Rome.
That's what Sublime.
Right.
The problem Sublime.
Right,
having.
but you know what he did? He put on a show with Jerry Cantrell. Jerry Cantrell treated him like an equal, and they hit that stage hard. And I'll tell you what, I was at an Alice in Chains show, and there was no way around it. That was cool.
But I just think that, if you do something like that, that singer's got to realize he's not Lane Staley.
Yeah.
And
I think he did, though. That's
Right.
a respect thing. I
right,
think he
and,
did
and you
realize
got to
that.
stay with that. And just like Sublime changed their name to Sublime
Yeah.
with Rome
Right,
Yeah.
because he's
Mhm.
not.
exactly.
'Cause they're not
Yeah,
Sublime.
he's not Bradley.
Right.
And I love Sublime.
Right.
But you're right. But you know what? But that's another respect thing. If he came out like if he came out and acted like he wanted that kind of respect, or if he demanded it, or even made mention of it. I mean,
Right.
you know what I mean? If we came with that kind of attitude, people I think would not only pick up on it right away. I mean, people are bloodhounds when it comes to, smelling out just that natural sense of I belong on the stage.
Right.
I think people pick it out like that.
Right.
And I think had that have been the case, they wouldn't have came over so well. But
Sometimes
they
a lot
did
of diehard fans too love to
Right.
hate
love to hate.
the
But
new.
I'll tell you what, I saw
members.
345s from Chains. And it was awesome. Every second of it was amazing.
Cool.
It's like
It's
that
a
Boston
long show.
with,
It was the longest show, no opener, 345s.
Wow.
Yeah.
I would have loved that one.
Yeah, that's like Boston and Tommy DiCarlo. Tommy DiCarlo
From Home Depot.
sounds just
Right?
like Brad.
Right.
Sounds
Home
just
Depot.
like Brad Doe.
Journey,
Exactly like him.
the Filipino guy from
Yeah.
Journey.
Jerry and Steve Jerry.
He's
Yeah,
good.
exactly.
Is it
exactly.
really?
Yeah.
Is that his name?
No. That's not the new guy. The Filipino guy's got some really weird.
But you can't tell them apart.
Right.
Sonically.
Okay,
You
you
know
know
what
what,
I mean?
man?
great.
That's
Right.
enough of this
Yeah.
BS. I want to hear him play.
Yeah.
Somebody got Beautiful Suicide. I've been hearing about that song. Let
Yeah,
me hear it
enough
now.
talk.
I've told Matt a lot about it. Let's let him hear it.
All right, I got it queued up actually. So Beautiful Suicide. This is song 6 on their album.
Finding abruptly in the ballroom. Investigation is underway. It's time to overthrow the kingdom. He who controls the throne can lost all these feelings away. Tell me why, Mother, I'm needing you just before waste leaves my body.
So anyway, back to Red Sun Rising.
Oh, that's right. We are in a band,
we're in a
right?
band.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Something like that. We were talking earlier about before the microphone came on, and Freddy. Wait! Shut up! You guys have, I'm guessing, a couple of videos out since you said which one.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the making of a video experience. What was that like?
Well,
Depends on which one.
Yeah, it depends on which one, really.
Well, let's just go with Beautiful Suicide
right.
as an example.
Okay, Beautiful Suicide. That was our first, full production video we've ever done, and we basically rented a space down in Columbus, and we brought our production team in, Thunder Down Country, and we were really excited because we didn't really know what we were in store or what was in store for us. And when we got there, we walk into this room, and it's this huge room. It looked like a gymnasium. It was all black. All the cameras were set up. There was stands everywhere and big racks where the cameras would slide on and stuff. We're like, this is so cool. We set up like we were on stage, and it was kind of surreal because, as you're going through the video, it didn't matter what you did really because, if you miss a note or something, the song goes on. Mm-hmm. So it was like, when you were a kid rocking out in your, room to your favorite band or something.
Yeah.
It was cool because you could do like some extra things that you couldn't really do when you were actually playing the instrument because it'd be too difficult. Yeah. So it was kind of surreal, and it was kind of hard to get used to that because at first you're like trying to actually play it and you're like, what are we doing?
Yeah. There's trying to air guitar it. And
yeah.
At the same point, I don't have to, How much input did you get put into that video? Did somebody tell you?
As far as creative control?
Yeah, creative control. Did somebody tell you guys what you had to do?
And the Beautiful Suicide video?
Yeah. Or any of them. Or any of them. I mean...
Well, the second one was a different experience. The first one was pretty much, like he said, it was a giant black room, but it was basically like, go hard. But what, I will say this.
It was a performance video.
Right, but what they did love about us is we're used to that. I mean... 2 hours, 3 hours, I don't care what it is, we'll give you everything. Live. If
we're all
see
over
our
the
band,
stage
we'll
live.
give you everything until then. We don't just stand still on stage. We'll give you everything. And they weren't used to a band that could go 8 hours without stopping, and we did. And we gave them everything we could every time, and they were excited about that. And we went 8 hours. I mean, we just went all day. Changing outfits, changing
I about
scenes.
hated that song at the end of the day.
Oh yeah, God, I could never hear it again. Yeah, but even the second video was the same way. I mean, it was the same thing except for this time they knew what the scenes were gonna be. So I had 45 minutes to go, just me over and over again. Okay, stop, start, go. The best I could give it. But Mike, on the other hand, on the second video, got a mouthful of paint and a pretty bad cold experience. I would say. Do you want to tell them a little bit about that?
Yeah, it was in a garage, and it was late fall. I'd say
it was. I don't know.
Was it middle of winter? I don't remember.
2 feet of snow still, I think.
Okay, it was freezing in there. They had a couple space heaters.
That was like February 2nd.
Yeah, and at the end they're like, we want to get a scene to break up all the performance scenes, and we were thinking of just like covering you in yellow paint. And
who, me?
Yeah, we're like,
Big Bird?
Oh man.
Yeah.
So they laid down this trash bags and everything, and I got in the scene. They're like, just take this paint and destroy this whole setup. They had this beautiful set built, and they're just like, destroy it with this paint. We're gonna pour it on you. So they did. They threw paint on me with, put it in super slow motion, and it sprays.
Did you get a hand on this? Did you get to throw paint on?
Yeah.
I got to watch.
I
will say this before he finishes. Though there is a scene in this in the video where he coughs up paint, right? Mm-hmm. And that is not anything that's not like CGI.
No, that's real. It got right
hit
in my
him
throat.
in the mouth. He gagged it out and just like threw up.
So of course, So
Everywhere.
of course they use that shot
Of
and they put it all in
course.
slow motion. And it comes right out of the back of my throat, and
It's like an Ozzy moment.
yeah, it was insane.
Wow.
I'm
But,
watching from above with my cell phone, like giggling. I have like a warm robe on and like a pipe, eating a sandwich. I'm just enjoying myself. He's freezing, covered in gold paint.
Yeah, and then after that I had to go take a cold shower in it for like 20 minutes just to get it somewhat off of me.
Wow.
I mean, it was latex paint. It was real paint.
Wow.
Wow.
But
That's interesting. Is that like the craziest thing you've done with your band, or?
I don't know.
Let's stay on stage. All right?
Sounds like everything.
On stage with my camera.
I don't know. Have you really done anything like?
I don't know.
I'm trying to think of like some wild show moments. I remember the one time the guy, they were like mosh pitting. It was in Kent, and the guy fell like on stage, and he somehow got my microphone cable wrapped around his body and started walking away. And he was pulling me. I felt it. So like my first reaction was to actually grab it and just yank it. And I just see this guy go down in the. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of live moments. I don't know. It's you're so focused on yourself. You know, we always bring this thing we call it our ego boxes.
Mm-hmm.
These boxes we had custom made. They're painted black, but we step on them just to get that kind of boost live. Like if I have a solo,
It does
I'm
give a
gonna
whole
get out.
other dynamic to
Right,
the
and
show.
if Mike's in a sing, he gets on top of it, gets in front of the crowd. Well, we play with a band called Downplay, and they not only had ego boxes, they had these things like went out past the stage. I mean, these were beyond. I don't even know you would call those at that point. But so we're walking out, and I have this solo, and I'm like, this is gonna be great. So I jump out onto their boxes, and I remember slipping onto my knee, right, to hit my solo. And I bounced right back up and somehow land on my feet to finish the solo. But I remember my knee hurt so bad that I just set my guitar down and go curl up behind my amp for like,
And in the
for
meantime,
like a second.
in the meantime, everybody in the
Like,
show or the crowd probably like, yeah, woo!
Right, and I'm in the fetal position behind my amplifier, like trying not to put my mom on speed dial, like Mom.
There's been a couple times too where you've clipped me in the head with your
Oh
headstock.
god! Even last show, we just did a conference in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. We were the only band invited out, which was nice. But do you remember the moment where we just collided?
Oh yeah.
Sure enough, on stage once again. And then my first thing I can think is, how out of tune am I now? You know? 'Cause it's like, we don't just collide. It's like we entangle and collide somehow. So.
Yeah, there could be some embarrassing moments. I was doing a gig one time in Detroit, and it was like a kind of a dance band thing. I was on bass, and we had a real weird getup. And I had these white cowboy type boots, and you remember those stirrup things you can buy that go around them, and then they hook on to each other. Well, I had them hooked where the hooks were in the center of each boot, and the curtain's getting ready to open, and I touched my feet together, and one boot hooked the other boot, and we're on a Mac, so the Mac's starting the show, you know, and I'm like, dude, I mean, I cannot do this. I'm like, so I got my bass on, I had to work my way, because my feet are stuck together, hooked together, and the curtain's open and everything, and I had to get on the ground, actually, kind of fall on the ground, and undo them and unhook them, and it barely happened. I was back up before the actual show started. I'm like, God,
But
you
you
know,
were panicking.
no, I had the boots on all day, and you'd think it would have happened when you're eating under the table. No, I waited till on stage, and had this unbelievable. You guys
That's
have
funny.
to have something crazier than that. I mean,
I know. I'm trying to think.
I know it doesn't come back to you.
It's hard to like just think of stuff like out of the blue. I remember one time we were playing in down in Columbus, and we were back at the hotel, and
the hotel stories.
yeah, well, this one isn't. I don't want to get into some real craziness, but keep it PG-13. But Mark,
We're not worried about
Yeah.
PG-13. It's the internet.
Mark, our drummer Mark, he just randomly, he's like, oh man, my ear's hurting. So we're like, it is, let me take a look at it. He had gotten where he puts his metronome, he had got it so far lodged in his ear, and he didn't realize it was still in there. When he pulled pulled his earpiece out, the like triple flange rubber part was way lodged in his ear.
Oh God.
So we're all up in the hotel room, and we had to go to like next door. The downstairs didn't have any like tweezers or anything, and we saw these two girls next door, and we're like, "Do you have any tweezers?" So here we are, like holding Mark down. He's like screaming, in pain. Now we have these things in his ear trying to pull this rubber thing out of his ear.
Did you at least give him a shot of Jack?
Dr. Mike.
Bottle of Jack?
Yeah.
Oh, he had plenty of that night.
It probably just, there's a purpose or a reason why the thing was stuck in his ear.
Jack was probably the reason it was stuck in his ear.
Yeah. Oh, where's my ear? Where's my in-ears,
Well, that's the thing. He didn't even know it was in there. That's how drunk he was.
The weird thing was about that story is the girl at the counter calls her roommate, who lives like apparently 45 minutes away. And
I forgot about that.
It's like 4 a.m. She calls her and says, "Hey, I need you to bring those pliers in." And apparently the girl says, "Why?" And she says, "I can't tell you. Just get down here." And she says, I don't know what the other girl says, of course. And she says, "I'll give you a candy bar."
I'll be right there.
I swear to God, the girl.
Right there.
I swear to God, the girl clicks her phone off and goes, "She's on her way."
Motivation enough for me to drive 45 minutes. Yeah.
Oh, well, candy bar is probably a metaphor for something.
Did you explain the rest of the story?
Right.
Oh, you couldn't have. You weren't there. So
No, I was there.
Well, you were kind of there for the rest of that story. So
I'm always kind of there.
So we think this is going to be hilarious. So there's like 7 of us, and Mike is in the shower as he always does. He spends about an hour.
Whenever we get hotel rooms, I always take like the longest shower I possibly can.
Yeah, like
why not?
Like yeah. Like water is this commodity. This sport, you know what I mean?
I don't have to pay for the heat.
The hotel's never going to run out. Yes!
Right.
I know, right?
Yeah,
never gets
like
cold.
every towel is used up. We walk in there, there's just like origami and like. So anyway, he's in there, and while he's in there, there's like 7 of us left, and we're like, this is gonna be funny. We have 2 beds in the room. We're all just gonna get, take our tops off, shirts off, whatever. We're a bunch of dudes, no big deal.
Off.
We all climb in the same bed and wait for
The girl to walk in.
both girls to come to the room.
Just to see her reaction.
2 beds. So
4 guys in 2 minutes.
right. So 2 beds in the room. 1 bed, 7 guys. 1 bed, nothing. So we wait. Just we're so excited. We're like, just for this to happen. We're like, can't believe it. I'm on the edge of my seat. Like I was buying Girl Scout cookies that had like crack in them. Like I'm just ready to go. Like not that they don't already have crack in them, but anyway. So the door, they knock on the door, and these 2 girls, and somebody goes and opens the door, and there's 7 of us. Like, come on in. And these chicks walk in, hand on the pliers. He pulls the thing out. And we're just waiting for a reaction. Like 7 of us, just staring in the bed, just no shirts on, and pliers go back. Both girls walk out. Other girl gets her candy bar. Walks out of the room. Nothing.
No reaction.
Nothing.
Then it's just the weirdest thing ever.
What town was
Nothing that you saw though. What did they?
When they left, whatever they talked about in the elevator, I wish I could have recorded it. It would have been great.
Where was this? What city?
Columbus.
Did you notice they were? Wow.
Say something. Come on. Spit it out.
Maybe they thought the other bed cost more.
Maybe they just thought that was normal.
Right.
Maybe.
I don't know. We thought we were playing the greatest prank in the world, and then sure enough, nothing. Just no reaction. As long as they got those candy bars, they didn't care what we were doing. So.
Okay.
What about the scariest part?
Scariest moment?
In this band?
Yeah.
The time that was where was there ever a time that the band just we can't do this anymore?
I think the
We're done.
scariest moments were
Or
when.
is it?
When I think, well, here's the thing. Mike and I kind of started the whole band. I mean, we did, and we've had a lot of really, really good friends be part of this in the meantime, whether they were in the band or outside of the band or work with us in the meantime. And I think the scariest thing was deciding sometimes that maybe no matter how good of friends they are, maybe they're just not quite what we need to make this work better, or maybe they're just kind of pulling against our progress. And I think for any musician that's hard. I mean, that's a tough thing when you have to be like, this is kind of about me now. I'm getting older. I do so much. When does it become about just the guys that are making the most sense for the thing? And I think that's scarier than anything. Any story on the road, scarier than that is having to tell your dear good friend who you'd been with for years.
No,
hey,
just
this doesn't work
I'm
anymore.
done. See ya.
Yeah.
Right, it doesn't work that way. And Freddy can tell you. Isn't that scarier?
Yeah,
Scarier than anything, maybe, is to cut those kind of people out of your life. And because here's the thing: is you don't make the decision to cut them out of your life. you make the decision to cut them out of your business or your band
And
or
how much
whatever.
resentment are
But
they
what
gonna give
happens-
you
Right, that's
for
the
it?
thing.
Yeah, what happens in retrospect is they cut themselves out of your life, and that's hard. And but it has to happen sometimes,
Right.
and it's not even being mean. It's about who cares the most.
Well, and then there's always the disconnect because many times, not always, but many times, you know, musicians are creative people, and oftentimes you're not thinking on like how a corporate person would think
Right.
and all that. So there's a certain amount of emotion that goes behind it. You put yourself, you know, what that was me. Where in reality, most bands, you know, probably hang on a lot longer than they should have with that person for that reason. That's a lot of people's downfalls.
Yeah.
You know, and for many reasons, you know, it's not always just a talent reason. It's you know, a personal issue, a drug reason, anything that could be holding the band back. And you know, I'm sure, you know, you guys, I've tried in the past interventions with people. I had an incident with a guy that would just overplay all the time, and we tell him, we constantly warn him about it, and he just wouldn't do anything about it. Till finally, you know, the singer had enough, but I was the one to call him, and it pretty much got into a situation where I had to almost, you know, just say, I told you, we warned you a ton of times, you know, and we're just going to move on with somebody else. And sometimes they don't understand that because they don't see it that way.
Yeah.
And it's funny because these are all the things that go on with a band. There's so many things, you know.
Yeah,
Not to mention too is, you know, you lose a lot of friends. I'm sure there's
Yeah.
a lot of friends that, you know, being a musician and traveling all the time. You know, we don't travel nearly as much as you, but like it's hard to keep friendships because you're always around your band and you become so close to your band. And it's not that you don't want to be with your old friends. It's just it's hard to find, you know, that time and to get schedules to line up, and you know you're doing your own thing, and it's hard to make time for it.
Yeah, that's a
just
big
those,
thing.
Those
You
friends
can't
that,
participate with what a lot of guys want to go to the game on a Friday night. Well, I have a gig
Yeah.
on a Friday night,
Yeah,
or this
it's-
or that.
it's
or,
hard to keep
or-
friendships.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
hard to
weekends
keep.
mean different things, I think. And then
Yeah.
on top of that, when they are home for the weekends, even if you have one show all weekend, I mean, you're talking about being tired. You just got that first opportunity to, you know, to
Just
take
relax.
care of the things or relax, or take care of the first thing you had to take care of the 3 days before that you wish you would have.
However,
And that's just as hard as anything else, I think, is
but it used to be that when you drift away like that, that would be the end of it. But now with Facebook and stuff, it's kind of cool that, you know, you kind of, you know, can keep up with people, and everyone knows what you're doing every minute. Not that I care for that, but at least, you know, people show up when you're not least expecting it because they know what's happening.
Yeah, playing shows have been a way almost to bring all your friends together at once, which is cool. So as much as you know, I think you said this the other night, as much as it pushes them away, the shows actually bring them all together as well. Yeah. Which is a really cool, you know, cool thing.
Absolutely. He's right. We talked about this on that conference. It's like, you know, the people that really love you and the people that get behind you somehow become a part of this whole thing. Like, especially once you hit a certain point where it seems like, you know, everything you're doing is a little bit bigger than
I think
anybody ever.
Your true friends come out too.
Right. The people that support you, the people that love you.
Really
Once we get this
support it.
far, they come out and say, you know, we're really glad to see you here. And then the shows almost become more of a reunion sometimes than anything else, and that's cool. And I'm excited for those more than anything because those are the nights we get to see everyone. You know.
Yeah. How often do you guys play out?
3 nights a week.
Yeah. Yeah, it's you know, through the winter, this winter, we're going to be focusing on writing, like I was saying.
And recording.
And
Tonight's
recording.
number 1, actually.
But, because we really want to come out in the spring swinging, and we're setting it up to, you know, play some bigger shows and working with some booking agencies. And so when we come out in the spring, we're going to have a whole new product, and we really just focus on everything we need to. Just tighten all the screws and fill in all the dead space and come out with the best product we have, totally reinvent the band. Not to change the band, but to have a fresh, clean slate for the band. So it's just another level when you see us again in the spring and we come out. So if you don't keep reinventing yourself, it's like you're going to become stale, especially in the entertainment system.
Right. I think that's how, in my opinion, that's how Disturbed made it.
Yeah.
They just kept throwing it out there.
You got to keep feeding them.
Throwing it out there. And then that's how they got, my opinion, they had the good management or the aspect
Foo
that you
Fighters
have,
the same way.
Same thing. They just keep throwing something new out there to everybody to keep them interested.
Each Foo Fighters album was a complete reinvention of the band, in my opinion. It still sounded like the Foo Fighters, but it was always a little different, and that's what we were hoping to do, you know, with these new songs and you know, the image of the band.
Cool. So do you guys have any shows coming up at all, or are you just taking it till you
Coming up, we're going to play a show in Peabody's with Downplay December 1st.
It's Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah, Cleveland, Ohio, Peabody's. It's a good rock club. And then January 28th, there's going to be the first annual This Is Akron Music Festival, and we're going to headline that. They're bringing in all the, you know, the bigger local and regional acts. There's going to be about 5 bands of the, you know, from the region that are really notable.
Are they original, or is that
all original? Okay. And we're gonna headline that, and we're really excited about that because we take pride in the fact that we're from Akron, and for them to ask us to headline the This Is Akron Festival is huge, and that's gonna be at Musica, January 28th.
Downtown Akron.
Yeah, downtown Akron.
A friend of ours just played there, Chris Nineman.
Oh yeah.
He just played there Friday night.
Yeah, I've heard that name.
Yeah, how do we know him?
He was in Project 9.
Project 9.
Yeah,
okay.
Project 9.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I think that's about
Probably
it.
let him get back to recording.
Yeah, if you're looking for these guys, you can find them on. The only place I found is Facebook. That's the only place I ever really look.
Yeah, you can find us on Twitter too.
Reverb Nation.
At RSR Akron.
Yeah.
That's our pride, our Akron plug.
We're gonna have a new site up soon. Do you know what the
Yeah, it's gonna be redsunrisingband.com, and that will be up in probably the next couple weeks.
Cool. Cool. And if you're looking for us, you can find us on Facebook, Unheard Scene. Second word is Scene, SCENE. And if you like what you heard from Freddy, you can shoot us an email at the Unheard Scene, or you can send. Freddy's just on Facebook. Type in Freddy DeMarco and shoot him an email, and he'll tell you how he can work for you.
Very cool.
Very cool. Thanks, guys.
Very cool.
Thanks.
Thanks for having us on, guys.
Thanks for the time.
All right, that was Red Sun Rising. It was nice of them to join us here in the studio.
Really great guys.
They're a bunch of fun guys. I look forward to actually seeing them live. They're on their way down the stairs, but what they don't know is we're going to play one more song by them before we end this show.
All right, yep, this song is called What's Going On.
We could be one, we could be none. We could segregate ourselves till no one belongs. Oh, hope is lost if we forget we belong to each other. And we ask ourselves, is this what's really going on? We could be right, or we could be wrong. We could invest in peace and in love, no matter the cost. But oh, if we forget we belong to each other. And we ask ourselves, is this what's really going on? And we ask ourselves, is this what's really going on? We ask ourselves to find peace among hell. We ask ourselves, is